Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. I wanted to wish everyone a very happy new year, and I hope that your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or any holiday that you celebrate in December was hopefully very amazing and wonderful, and that you got everything that you wished for. In today's video, I am going to do something a little different because we're going to be discussing the aspects of January of 2025. And as I have said previously, a few months ago, 2025 will be a difficult year, unfortunately. I don't like to give, harsh news or negative news or bad news or however you want to call it, but I think it's better to know than not to know. So you are forewarned, although I think January starts off with a very difficult aspect, but as the month progresses, it gets a little better. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys the charts for the different moons. So I am going to be using AstroSeek, and this is astro-seek.com. You go over here and you go to the moon calendar, and you can pull up any full moon, new moon. This is also where I get the eclipses as well. And then when you go here, here are the charts of every new moon because I'm using the new moons, right? So when I clicked here, this chart, then this is the December 30th, 2024 new moon that just happened in the sign of Capricorn. So a new moon, you're going to see the sun and the moon together. If it's a full moon, the sun is going to be in one sign, and then the the moon is going to be in the opposite sign because it's a full moon. So this new moon at 9 degrees of Capricorn is really not expected because the only thing it has is this little sextile to Saturn, which is the ruler of the new moon because it is in Capricorn and Capricorn's ruler is Saturn. But for a sextile, this is, what, 5 degrees away. I like it to be between, either exact or 2 degrees, tops 3 degrees. So according to this chart, the only thing it's sextiling is Saturn. So the real players starting December for the new year is this opposition of Pluto to Mars. Mars is in Leo and Pluto is in Aquarius. And then we have the square of Jupiter to Saturn. Jupiter is in Gemini and Saturn is in Pisces. So this is what that new moon is bringing along. So it's really not, there's nothing to write home about on this new moon. So we're still working with the energies of the prior month, which is the new moon in Sagittarius. Now, so I wanted to share that with you guys. And one of the reasons I want to do this is I hope that a lot of the people I know that watch my channel are here to learn astrology. And that is what I want to try to get across. How to interpret charts, how to read them. Because if something happens to the internet and you guys don't know how to read charts, so you're depending on the astrologers on YouTube to do it for you, then you might come into not knowing what to do or how to read it. So that's my goal, is to teach you guys how to do it by yourself. Of course, you can still watch my channel. That's not an issue. But basically, this new moon, since it's in Capricorn, Capricorn is asking you to look at your finances. Money. Did you spend too much money over the holiday season? Um, Is there something that you need to review on your budget because you didn't quite make your goal, either savings or for retirement or for whatever, something financial that you should be paying attention to? So on January 2nd, we have Mars retrograde in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degree. So on a mundane level, this is not good. This is a very violent aspect because Pluto is the higher octave of Mars, and you're talking about aggression, Mars. I mean, Mars has good qualities, don't get me wrong. It's assertive, it's brave, um, it's something that you want to do with it's energy, but in a negative sense, it could be war, it could be arguments, it could be aggression. And Pluto is, on a positive note, is the planet of transformation. Hopefully, it's a very good transformation, but Pluto is the planet of death and destruction and then rebirth. So, on a mundane level, and it's happening at 1 degree, which is the degree of Aries. So, there could be an increase in military activities. Needless to say, there could be a new attack on, any one of the wars can escalate, especially with the Middle East right now. Pluto um, is the ruler of Scorpio, and Muslim countries are ruled by Scorpio. That's why I'm saying the Middle East. On a personal level, um, don't engage into a power struggle with a powerful person, Pluto. Now, this can mean a discussion with your boss, with your parent, with an authoritative figure, with the police, with military. Don't engage with a power struggle with any of these people. Okay, just let it go. This aspect is going to last for a few days, so just let it go. And you can stand your ground. You don't need to have anybody bully you, but you could always do it in a polite way. On a positive note, on January 2nd, we have Venus entering Pisces. And as you all know, Venus is exalted in Pisces, so at least we're going to have some love to share with somebody. On January 6th, we have Mars that enters Cancer, which is the fall position of Mars, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So in the fall position is not the best energy. It has a very passive aggressive type of energy to this Mars now. So people won't flat out say no to you, but they will, slow down. They will procrastinate on something that they really don't want to do, etc. January 7th, Mercury in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees. So this is the degree of Gemini. So this is not the best week to sign any papers or any contracts, leases. Careful with communications because there can be a misunderstanding, right? Neptune clouds things. People don't understand what you mean. So make sure that the other person understands what you said by having them repeat what you say, right? And double check all emails, reread them. If you're working with numbers, to make sure that all the formulas are adding right, that the calculations are correct, that the math is right. On January 8th, Mercury enters Capricorn. So Mercury in Capricorn rules strategic thinking. So if you're strategizing something, this is the right time to do it. January 12th, you have Mars retrograde in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. So this is a very nice day to express creativity, um, emotional, sentiments, passion, romance. in a very spiritual level because we're talking about Neptune. On January 13th, we have the full moon in Cancer at 23 degrees. So I am going to bring up the chart and I am going to show you guys. This should be it. January 13th, here we go. We have a full moon in Cancer. Here is the moon in Cancer, and it is opposing the sun in Capricorn at 23 degrees. Now, this full moon, excuse me, has a very nice trine from Neptune. This is Neptune, and this is a trine. And Uranus. Uranus is here, and it is trining the sun. Therefore, you may get some kind of surprise, and it's going to be nice. Now, Mars is conjunct the moon. So this full moon, you can take some action on something creative because it's trining Neptune, right? Or something spiritual. Neptune is also spiritual. There can be some results in business as well because the sun is in Capricorn. And if you guys remember, Capricorn is the midheaven, the MC in a regular natal natural chart, I should say. Now, the sun is trining Uranus at 23 degrees, and Uranus is still retrograde. So you might get a surprise, and it's a material one because we're talking about Taurus and we're talking about Capricorn. So this could involve money, jewelry, food, of course, because it's Taurus. And of course, it depends on the houses that it falls in your natal chart. So this is what the new moon I mean, the full moon in Cancer looks like. I think it's a nice one. So I hope it turns out really well for you guys. All right, so January 14th, we have Pisces. Venus in Pisces square Jupiter retrograde in Gemini at 12 degrees, and the moon is in Leo. So you're going to want to buy luxury items with maybe some money that you got for Christmas, right? So be careful, don't go over the budget, and don't eat too much either because Venus is money and food and business, but Jupiter expands. So you might be spending too much money or eating too much still. January 15th, we have the sun in Capricorn opposing Mars retrograde at 26 degrees. There may be some competition at work or at home. Because remember, Capricorn and Cancer are the parental axis, right? The 10th house and the 4th house. So you can demonstrate your talents, your skills to accomplish whatever you want to do, whether it's to impress your boss at work or to impress your spouse or significant other at home, doing something, technical. January 18th, Venus is conjunct Saturn in Pisces at 15 degrees. So Venus conjunct Saturn is not a good day for love. It's not a good day for business. So no first dates, no signing contracts. It's best to focus on your to-do list, on things that you need to do, on tasks that you need to do, and just get them, just get them done. Get them checked off and, move forward. January 19th, the sun enters in Aquarius. So happy birthday to all the Aquarians out there. I hope you guys have a great birthday season. January 21st, you have the sun conjunct Pluto at 2 degrees. So don't be pushy with someone. If you want them to do something for you, don't try to manipulate because that's Pluto. Or if someone tries to bully you, then you can politely put them in their place, right? And tell them, no, I'm not going to do that because it's not moral, it's not ethical, it's not right. But nicely. On January 23rd, you have Mercury in Capricorn opposing Mars retrograde at 23 degrees. So someone may be harsh when speaking with you because it's a Mercury and it's in opposition to Mars. Remember, Mars rules Aries and that Mars can be very assertive or aggressive. So with you, let things slide, don't tell them how you feel when you can tell them how you feel when they criticize you, because this energy is more about criticizing than trying to help somebody out, right? So Mercury is also going to trine Uranus retrograde at 23 degrees, so you can get good news out of the blue, right? A surprise. And it will be nice because it's a trine from Mercury to Uranus. January 25th, we have Venus in Pisces trining Mars retrograde in Cancer at 22 degrees. Now, this on a personal note can be it's a very romantic weekend. So, make this nice for your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your significant other. You can plan a nice romantic evening or take your sweetheart out on a date this weekend and just it's a very beautiful weekend for romance. On January 27th, Mercury enters Aquarius. January 28th, Mercury is conjunct Pluto at 2 degrees. So, Mercury in Aquarius is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees. So this is a great day to investigate. You can become a little detective, do some research work. Um, we may hear some news, some truths come out. Um, Something that maybe you were suspecting or something that you were doubting, you can get confirmation on this day, right? Because things come out. January 29th, this is a new moon, and I'm going to share the chart again so that you guys can see the visual. Um, it's this one. January 29th, 2025, we have a new moon in Aquarius. You see, the sun and the moon are together at 9 degrees in Aquarius. So this is a great new moon because Mercury in Aquarius is trining Jupiter in Gemini, and it's a very wide trine. So news that you can hear, or maybe you have news coming in, can be very favorable because it's a trine. You have Uranus that is sextiling Mars. So you can take actions on this new moon. Um, you can move forward with a plan that you've had. Just make sure that you wait for the first white little sliver of the moon. You never act on the dark moon, right? So, and then on top of that, you have Uranus sextiling Venus. So this is a chance to meet someone if you're single. But remember, anytime that Venus has aspects to Uranus, it's not usually 99% of the time, it doesn't turn out to be a long-term relationship. It turns out to be, a date, a love affair, however you want to classify it, but it doesn't usually, turn out to be long-term. But it will be very, very interesting. This is like a love at first sight. Love at first sight. Wow, the third one's the charm. Okay, so January 30th, we end the month with the sun in Aquarius trining Jupiter retrograde in Gemini at 11 degrees. And this is an awesome day for an interview, a meeting. Good results can come in, especially for air and fire signs. So air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Fire is Aries, Leo, and Sag, because it's forming a sextile for the fire signs. And lastly, on January 30th, Uranus goes direct at 23 degrees of Taurus, finally, because it's been retrograde since September 1st of 2024. The outer planets go retrograde for a very long time. So anyway, these are the aspects for January of 2025. Like I said, the month starts off with that Mars Pluto, which I hope to God that nothing military happens, no more invasions of any other countries. But the energy will be on the Middle East because it's Pluto. And again, Muslim countries are ruled by Scorpio, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And that's why I'm saying the Middle East. Anyhow, if you have found this video helpful, if you like this new style of me presenting the moons and explain them, the new moon, the full moon, etc., please let me know in the comments below. Because again, I'm only trying to help you guys understand the astrology, and that way, hopefully, one day you could see and do it on your own, right? That's the idea. If you would like a chart reading with me, please send me an email to AMAastrology. If you find these videos helpful and you want to help the channel, please subscribe. Send it to somebody else that might be wanting to learn astrology. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.